Hello and welcome to the fourth edition of 6 Tips at 6. My name is Pam Okeson. I'm a community engagement librarian with Porte County Public Library. And you can locate our previous 6 Tips at 6 p.m. programs on the library's YouTube channel. So far we've covered Overdrive, Tumblebooks, and Flipster. A little housekeeping before we begin. If there's anybody joining us on Facebook tonight, feel free to submit any questions on the comments page and we'll try to answer your questions. So today's 6 tips will help you get started with Kanopy, the library's streaming video service. Kanopy provides access to thousands of films, documentaries, television shows for all ages. And it includes selections from the Criterion Collection, great courses, film festival winners, independent directors, and much more. Kanopy Kids includes educational and entertaining movies, TV series, animated storybooks, and more. Kanopy also has a robust library of content for educators. So let's get started with tip number 1. Where do you get started? Let me share my screen. So you'll start on the library's homepage, which is laportelibrary.org. And while we're here, I want to show you, if you scroll down just a little ways, you can get some information on the library's virtual branch hours, which are located over here. With the virtual branch hours, you can know when you can get help with answers to your emails, phone calls, and virtual chat. And the virtual chat box is down here in the bottom right-hand corner. So if you need help, we've got lots of ways to help during our virtual branch hours. Okay, so for Kanopy, you will start with access by going to Library Online on the menu and Stream and Download. Once you get to the Stream and Download page, you'll scroll down until you find Kanopy. And all you have to do is click the Kanopy image and it will open the Kanopy page for you. And this is what the home page looks like. I happen to be signed in already. You'll see up here in the corner that I'm signed in. So let's talk about what you see the first time that you come to Kanopy. The very first time you'll see an image like this where it asks you to add your library card. So you'll click on Add a Library Card, and then you will add your library card number and password on the following page. The next page will ask you to create an account. Here you will fill in your name, your email, and create a password. You also have the option to sign up with Google. This is a great option for students and educators using Google. There's also an option to sign up with Facebook. Once you complete the sign up step, you can go directly to Kanopy homepage by clicking on Watch Now. But before you'll actually be able to watch any of the videos on Kanopy, you will need to go to your email, find the email from Kanopy, and in there, there's a Verify Email button. Tip number 2 is a little bit of information about how the service works. So every month you get 10 free play credits. So you can see up in the corner of my page here, I have 9 credits left. On May 1, my account will go back up to 10 credits, regardless of how many of those plays I used during the month of April. Right now, Kanopy is providing some movies and documentaries for credit-free watching. You can find these at the top of the homepage. Kanopy Kids and the great courses are also credit-free viewing, and I'll show you a little bit more about those in a bit. It's important to know about those credits and how the system works, because if you do select a film and press watch and start playing the movie, it will already count down one of your play credits. There is no preview option on Kanopy to sort of preview or get a trailer view like you would on other streaming services like Netflix or Prime. Let's talk a little bit about how you search for material or films that you want to watch. There's a few different ways. You can see that there are some collections as you scroll down the page. Kanopy has newly added movies, documentaries, trending, great courses, and so on. There are many different categories to browse through. If you want to see more in a category, just move to the far right, and when you hover, you'll see a little gray arrow that you can click to load more films and discover more to watch. If by chance you know something you do want to watch, you can enter your search in the search bar at the top. So when I try to search for musicals, right away it gives me the subject musicals, and I can click on that. And it will load a page with anything that's been marked as the subject of musicals. And then you could maybe find some other things to filter your searches with here to get different results. You can also click musicals and just hit enter or the hourglass, and it will give you a different view of those results. What's nice here is that you get a list of videos, but you also have the option to look at subjects. So let's say, oh, you know what, I really think with musicals I might want to check out blues music. That's another way to get to some of the titles and do your browsing and discovering. If you don't know what you're looking for at all, you can always hover over browse, and I need to move a tool here. Here we go. So if you hover over browse, you'll get a menu with a lot of different categories. And when you hover over a category, a sub-menu set will open up, and you'll get a few more options there that will sort of refine, like for health, child's health, medicine, nursing. You'll get some other subjects that you can click on. If you want a comprehensive view of all of the categories, you can click on the word browse, and it will give you the whole list. So you've got movies with all of the subcategories, documentary, the arts, and you'll see there's quite a few different categories. Notice educators, that there's a section here for education. Many of these topics are relevant to educators, sciences, social sciences. There's even a little subcategory here for K through 12 lessons. So let's just click on that and see what kind of results we get. You'll see some instructional films and lessons, literature. So for example, if you were doing Shakespeare titles, studying Shakespeare, you could actually watch a film related to your Shakespeare series. So let's take a look at what happens when you click into a title. Let's go all the way down and take a look at this Pearl Harbor. Tip number 3 is tip number 4 is how to actually watch the movie. So when you hover over a title, you'll get a short description, but if you want to read more about it, you click on it and you'll open a page with more information. And there'll be a little show more section that will allow you to read the entire description of the film or the documentary. I always like to take a look at the language because there are a number of foreign language films here, and you may have to be reading closed captioning or listening in another language if you don't take a look at that and see what you're looking at. You also find when you click on a title related videos, so maybe you're browsing and wow, I like this other one here, you've got some other ones to take notice of. So maybe I'm going to add this film to my list, which I'm going to come back and watch this one later, but I'm just going to click it and add it to my list. You get a little confirmation down here in the corner that it was added to your, like a watch list. And then you can continue browsing, take a look at some of these related titles over here. And that's a way that you can explore and find something that you might want to watch. If you want to go back and find your watch list, you're going to hover over your name in the upper corner, and you can click on watch list there. You also have your view history. And notice that when we go to view history or watch list, those options are also here. So this is a great way to find some of the things that you've watched before. If you're looking at a title and you're like, I think I've watched that before, but I'm not sure, you can look at your watch list and take a check there just to make sure. Tip number 5 is content that you can watch for free. 2 things, Kanopy Kids and great courses. Let's navigate to Kanopy Kids first. So that link is in the upper right-hand corner here. and it will load a homepage for Kanopy Kids. The very first time you navigate to Kanopy Kids, it's going to ask you if you want to set up parental controls. And this little box here, if you don't want to set up parental controls, you can just click through and start watching. If you want to set up parental controls, you want to click on this little here link, which will open the next page that asks you whether or not you want to turn your parent controls on or off. And when you're setting up, you'll create a PIN and save that PIN. And then in that way, you'll have controls in place so that you know that your content for kids is worry-free and filtered and safe for your kiddos. You can browse titles here in a much similar way to what you did with the other ones. Pardon me, I need to get back to Kanopy Kids. Under Browse, you've got some brief subcategories. What's fun when you click Browse here is that you have little blocks, and it really condenses the subjects that the kids can look through. So like, oh, I want to watch a TV series, you click on TV, and you'll see all the different TV series that are available here. Again, these are credit-free viewing. Let's exit Kanopy Kids up here in the right-hand corner and navigate back to the homepage. And let's look for great courses. Great courses are featured on this page here. You can also search for great courses in the search bar up at the top. And I clicked too soon. Let's go back. Right here, you can click on great courses and get the full list of great courses here, or you can continue your browse right there. These are all credit-free viewing. There's quite a different subcategories available here too: hobbies, humanities and science, and so on. So let's go on to our next tip, which is how to watch. You would click on the title or click watch right there. But the play view is very similar to what it looks like in YouTube. Your controls are very similar. So you've got play in the center, and then along the bottom, I'm not going to press play right now, but along the bottom you'll get your play, pause, closed captioning options, and then usually there's a full screen mode down here in the corner. Okay. We are ready for our last tip, which are some of the different apps that are available to watch with Kanopy. Let's go back to this screen here where we have some examples. There are a lot of different viewing platforms available for viewing Kanopy. You can watch from Android or Apple iOS devices by downloading an app and authorizing the device. Just follow the steps. It also works with Apple TV. You can even add a channel on your Roku player for Kanopy and watch your videos that way from Kanopy. It's also possible to Chromecast Kanopy to your television from your phone. You need to read more about those here and get help with the help link. One last tip, it's possible for more than one person to use the same account at the same time. For example, an adult can be watching on a tablet at the same time as kids can be watching Kanopy Kids with a Roku on a television. Those are our 6 tips for Kanopy. Are there any questions before we sign off tonight? All right, no questions. Next week, we're going to be covering BookFlix. We hope that you'll join us again to learn about BookFlix, which is a great resource for animated books and interactive ebooks. And again, reach out to us at the library, phone, email, or chat if you've got any questions. And thank you for joining us. We will see you again soon.